God, isn't it? I was nervous up until Wednesday night about this. I'll be honest with you. I was so nervous about, well, Lord, what am I going to say? And all of a sudden it began to show up in my heart. The power of His promises. I mean, there's no substitute in life for having this assurance. God's promised me. God said He would. God said He, and I mean, when you have that strength and that boldness and that courage to trust in the promises of God, no man shall stand before you all the days of your life. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? The power of His promises. 1 Kings chapter 8 in verse 56 it says, "Blessed be the Lord who has given rest to His people Israel according to all that He has promised." Whew. That's not all. There has not failed, Solomon said. There has not failed one word of all His good promise, which He has promised through His servant Moses. Remember what the Lord said to Joshua. As I was with Moses, I will be with you. Well, that's shouting right, y'all. God is true to His promises. Powerful promises that enable us to stand when it's the hardest to stand. And it will be difficult at times. Especially when you have to stand alone for doctrine and for truth in such an ungodly, wicked, Christ-rejecting world. We heard this in Justin's address this morning. And it's going to be a great challenge for you to stand for holiness and for truth and for doctrine. The world's going to try its best to press you into its doctrinal, philosophical mold. And you're going to have some backbone about you to stand for what is true. What is God's truth? Mount Carmel High School faculty and staff will not be there to give you the guidance. They'll not be there to offer that sympathizing tear and that comforting shoulder. They won't be there. That helpful advice that you have often received down through the past couple of years now is not going to be there. Your classmates, they're not going to be there with you. That's when you're going to have to learn to lean on the powerful promises in God's Word. It will enable you. Those promises will enable you to endure the fiery ordeal of severe and intensive testing and temptation from the world and the devil. You'll have the promises to lean on. But you'll have more than that. You'll have this unmistakable, undeniable presence of God. I believe God will walk with you through all the different tough places of life. I have found out that at my lowest ebb, God was always there. You know, they had this thing on TV back a number of months ago, and the Bible. Maybe some of you got to see it, I don't know, but my mom works at a place where she, that was advertised, the DVD, after it came up, you know, the series was over, she bought this series for me, the Bible, and I watched it, and there were some discrepancies. Of course, it's Hollywood's twist on the Bible. And I was very disappointed when they showed the part about Daniel in the lion's den. And they portrayed Daniel in the lion's den all nervous and afraid of the lions, and he was backing away, trying to defend himself from the lions and everything. And he was all tore up. And I thought to myself, I don't believe that for a moment. I believe that God's presence in the life of Daniel comforted him and calmed his nerves. I imagine, even in my mind's eye, that he used one of them old bushy manes off of one of the lions for a pillow. And he just kind of, he slept so sound that night The king was pacing back and forth, worried and chewing his fingernails, all tore up about Daniel in the lion's den. Didn't sleep a wink that night. He showed up early the next morning at the lion's den. Oh, Daniel, servant of the Most High God, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? And then it got quiet. And all of a sudden you hear his voice. Oh, King, my God has delivered me. He has sent the angel. I mean, folks, we have stories in the Bible like that to build up our faith and to encourage us. The power of His promises and the wonderful power of His presence. You cannot replace that with anything. I mean, it's irreplaceable to have the promises and His presence in your life. I like what the Scriptures tell us. You know, Moses was being